Peace and many blessings, everyone. Peace and many blessings, family. Peace and blessings to every man, woman, and child. Peace and blessings to all people, all walks of life. It's back in time with yet another most pristine, fine, and definitely most sincere and genuine new video. Brother Henry or Hank Soul Conscious, number 4400 or 4400. It's my honor to have you all back on the channels or stations. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Please keep in touch. If you want to sub with me, that's okay. Positivity over negativity. Today, family, I'm going to be continuing Volume 1, Part 3 of this important mini-series on the importance of having codes, moral ethics, standards, and values. These are things that are building blocks for any true community. I wanted to start off by sharing some empirical evidence from a UGA Today article from last spring. It's still somewhat fairly recent, even though it's from last spring. It talked about, unfortunately, I couldn't find one available for this year yet because it's still a little early in the year. Hopefully, as the year progresses, they'll have a 2018 one as well. But I wanted to, just go over so-called minority increases in spending and how, like, for example, our melanated Hispanic brothers and sisters, this is how he's given us statistics on, how their combined buying power, it was approximately 1.5 trillion, which this was information compiled by the Selig Center and University of Georgia study, and it talks about that and the breakdown of where they spend a good portion of their money. So-called blacks and African Americans, here it shows a 98% increase in our spending power and breakdowns of where more of it is. It talks about how next to, so blacks and Latinos or Hispanics, we're pretty much the two more dominant groups in terms of spending power. Approximately our current spending power is somewhere between approximately 1.5 to close to 2 trillion. And this is the breakdown of where we spend a good portion of it. And then the Asian or, Korean, Asian, Native American, Chinese, Japanese, and so on. This is some information on them. Some of the differences is they spend more on dining out and public transportation than we do in certain cases, depending on what part of the country they're in. And they tend to spend less on entertainment and stuff and utilities, whereas with so-called African Americans and Latinos, we tend to spend more on utilities and so forth. But one of the things that Asians and blacks do have in common is we do spend considerable amounts on clothing and shoes. The only minor difference is Asians spend somewhat more on clothes in general, whereas blacks spend it a little more specifically on shoes. But it still falls under the general umbrella of clothing. Next, I wanted to also share this information as well. Most recently, the last week or two, not just from the female sphere, the so-called black, Latino, male, and female sphere. We've been hearing from different segments on the women's side, especially with Cynthia G and Chrissy and others. And I'm not here to attack or put down anyone, but unfortunately, colorism issue has reared its ugly head in most recent days or weeks. This is empirical evidence from an article, a chart on how skin tone and color discrimination from PLOS One affects, you know, things as far as how people are perceived, to how they're offered, how dark-skinned people are offered employment less often. There was even a study or research, unfortunately I don't have it with me right now, but if you Google or Bing search it, you can find articles where it even talks about how even just your name can be used as a melanated person to be discriminated against you. Like the more African American or Latino sounding your name is, the less likely you'll be able to be called for an interview or offered a job compared to your so-called white or Caucasian counterparts. And I'm not here to, you know, attack any of my white subscribers. I'm not here to offend or put down anyone. I'm simply here to bring up the issue and provide empirical evidence so we can think these things over, marinate our minds in order to come up with solutions to address these issues, hopefully decrease them as much as we can. And then this here is from the PMC U.S. National Library of Medicine. This is an article talking about how skin discrimination affects so-called African Americans, both black men and black women, and how, you know, from post-slavery, you know, it was used as a tool to further divide the community. I agree with the majority of both genders of our people that we have, that the larger issue of economic empowerment, mental and social freedom, decreasing or dismantling the system of racism and white supremacy, and having respect for cultural diversity, decreasing hatred, and us as a people learning to respect one another more regardless of our dating preferences or choices, should take priority over the secondary issue of the colorism. Now, nobody's denying that, yes, colorism is an issue, but you have to remember that it's a sub-symptom of the broader issue, which is racism, white supremacy, self-hatred, and low self-esteem among us, as well as the men and women, the genders in our community, the breakdown of the so-called black, Latino, melanated, biracial in some of our family units, the absenteeism of various fathers, even though those things to some degree affect all cultures and races. People, all backgrounds that watch my videos and channel can learn something, but I'm just using my own so-called community as example because that's where I come from. So, you know, these are definitely things that we need to take seriously, not to be taken lightly. However, the bigger issues should take precedent over the lesser colorism issue. And I'm sick and tired of white society and others that don't like us taking advantage of us through the colorism issue, taking our focus off of the bigger issues, which should be becoming more financially independent as a people, both individually and collectively, trying to put in some type of economics among ourselves, addressing racism. Like I said, in the parts ones, the previous issues, I dealt more with the social code and the ethical construct. In this part, I'm going to deal with some of the other parts. I began in the video, like for those of you that saw a few moments ago to begin the video, with the economics. I'm addressing the colorism. And an example of that was also an issue. Part of the colorism thing even appeared briefly to some degrees. I'm sure, well, those of you that are old enough like me remember the back in the day hit School Days from Spike Lee, one of his classic films. Colorism reared its ugly head there too. You know, you had some of the light-skinned black females and the dark-skinned black females, as well as probably some of the men, about the division it caused on campus at a historically black college. Not that that was the only topic or theme of the film, but it was definitely a problem within the film that was partly mentioned as well. So it just goes to show that this is not a new issue in our community, and I'm not saying that it's not important, but the bigger issue has to be economic empowerment, mental freedom, decreasing self-hatred, because basically the smaller symptoms fall under the umbrellas and the subdivision of those anyway. So if we tackle the larger issue, then after a while, those that are under the symptoms of it, if we attack the root of it, will naturally be addressed as well. But you know, I hope I didn't offend anyone. I'm not trying to rub anyone the wrong way. But I just wanted to come make this brief video because we as a people cannot limit ourselves to be a one-issue people. We have broad issues that are plaguing our community, and we need to evenly work hard to fight and distribute our energies towards all of the problems. But let's not get so overly carried away that we address the symptoms more than the roots. So, and like I said, we are an original bronze or copper people. Bronze and copper comes in all shades, from lightest of light to darkest of dark bronze. And to me, as long as you're a positive, constructive person, Black, Afro, Latino, Asian American, as long as you're part of the melanated family, you should, and you're doing something positive, constructive, and you're striving your best to be righteous, upright, and be a decent person in society, your shade should not matter, as long as you know in your heart that you're striving to be the best person that you could be. You're not out there doing evil or living immorally. You know, to me, as long as you're a decent person and you're striving to live upright, and you're not out there doing anything illegal or hurting people, I could care less how light, dark, or in between you are. Like, look at me. For example, I'm not too light, I'm not too dark. I'm like in the middle. So my people are beautiful to me, the melanated family. It wouldn't matter to me if you were black like this keyboard, if you were in the middle like me, or you were light like this, like the shade over here on the screen. So anyway, with that being said, remember to think right, love right, reflect right, live right, treat your fellow man, woman, and child right, and let's not fall prey to colorism. Let's have a code. Let's learn how to better rebuild a true community and start from scratch. We need to evolve, and let us, you know, strive to evolve and be called by our true names, whether it's copper, bronze, futuristic names that will carry us in the future. Because if we're truly a free people, we can rename ourselves. We don't have to continue under the so-called label as black that was assigned to us by former oppressors. We can chart our own course if we just believe in ourselves. So here's my 3 channels: like, share, subscribe. Even though the physical appearance, this is the URL, and I'm going to show you the physical appearance of the 3rd and most recent channel. You know, even though the appearances may change from time to time, you could go to the about discussion pages there, like, share, subscribe, where you know, you'll be able to see, you know, all of my content. You know, this is our main big brother and sister channel, of course. This is the second big brother sister main channel. And let me take you now to, you know, just so you can get an idea, even though the physical appearance may change. But let me take you to, you know, how it looks at the moment. This is how it looks at the moment, though down the road in the future, from time to time, things may change. But this is my newest 3rd main backup channel. As you can see, most of the videos are different. Some are the same, but most are different. So please like, share, subscribe. It's got some beautiful themes and content, as well as playlists to offer positive, constructive channels in addition to mine. Please like, share, subscribe, spread the word. If you want to sub with me, let me know. Peace and blessings, all the best in life. And before I forget, also, I just wanted to briefly mention, some of you may know by now, some may not, the verdict just came out today Unfortunately, Bill Cosby was found guilty. I think it's a crock, it's a ripoff, it's a travesty of justice. But whether you agree, disagree, whether you think he's innocent, guilty, in between, I hope that you will keep him in our thoughts and prayers. Here's the article from the New York Times. Unfortunately, from what I can understand, he was found guilty on all 3 counts. But the good news is his legal team is not giving up. They're going to continue to fight for this brother, and I will keep you updated. I think it's a shame that after all the good he's done for our community, they're trying to smear this brother's image like that. But I don't want to go overboard. Maybe I'll do that more specifically in a future video. But I just wanted to bring it to your attention in case, I know a lot of us are busy working different shifts and hours, so some may not have gotten the word yet. But let us keep this brother and his family in our thoughts and prayers, and they hopefully, whatever punishment they give him, hopefully they'll try to give him the most lenient or fair punishment that they can, even though we all know that it's a crock of crap, that he shouldn't be being punished in the first place. But that's a story for another day. Don't forget to follow me on my Twitter. This is my Tumblr, SoulConscious4400. You can also follow me on Twitter.com at www.twitter.com. Profile names either Henry or Hank A, or AC, or Henry or Hank, or Henry Hens or Henry A at ZZ2040 at ZZ2044, or you know, Hens or Hank H1 at 8Z2044, or at KK2044. Or you can go to the About a Discussion page. This is my Tumblr again. This is my Pinterest, you know, profile name Henry AC at www.pinterest.com. You can feel free to follow me on all my social media. Like, share, subscribe, spread the word. Peace and blessings to everyone. You know, I apologize. This is, before I forget, one last thing for those of you, because I know some of you also like to follow me on my LinkedIn timeline. So excuse me, family. Let me just take you there quick as well to my LinkedIn. You can follow my videos and content on the timeline of my LinkedIn. I usually post most or all of it there as well as all the great career, job search and information, resume advice, cover letter advice, as well as people in my network you can connect or message to in addition to myself. So there is my LinkedIn, www.linkedin.com. Then you would go to my profile name, Hank or Henry A, and you could feel free to message or notify me and I can connect you. You can also go to the timeline there to follow my content. So please make a note of it. Remember my 4 main emails: lowercase ggNewtime@hotmail.com, lowercase Henry or Hank alphamale4400@gmail.com, lowercase Hank or Henry 7700, Henry or Hank 7700@gmail.com, or lowercase Henry the Hard Worker @gmail.com. You could also email me semi-privately through the About a Discussion page or in the comment section. You can also feel free to text or voicemail me or keep leaving messages anytime at the discreet secured Soul Conscious line, area code 1347-641-7056. Like, share, subscribe. If you want to sub, let me know. Don't forget to hit the bell button. Keep in touch. Peace and blessings. All the best in life. I hope that all is well. If not, I hope it gets better soon. Please keep in touch. God bless. I love you all. I appreciate and thank each and every one of you. Don't forget to hit the like button if you may on the way out. Enjoy the smooth music as we cruise out, family. Take care of yourselves. I hope this video has been helpful. If not to you, you can share it with others. Don't forget, if you like, you could add it to your playlist, Google search it, or share it as well. And I will catch you guys on the fly in the next video. Thank you so much. Take care, family. Peace, 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 peace.